Hello, everybody, and welcome to another mini episode of Sequencing. Here we've got the Yukester himself from Masterminds, formerly of Team Australia, as you can see by his jersey at the moment.
Yeah, washed up. Man.
This weekend, he will be competing on the biggest Overwatch stage in Australia, the Contenders LAN Finals at the ESL Studios. So, Yuki, how are you feeling about it? Mastermind has been through some changes recently. So at the start of the season, you sort of surprised everybody by having a bigger roster. You had 8 people on it. But recently we've had a switch. So Nellory's gone from main tank, and you've got Joyboy instead. And then you've also said goodbye to Dalsu. So yeah, let's just take a moment in silence for our fallen comrades. But how have you guys been adapting to those changes? How are you feeling with the new lineup?
Well, it was pretty slow at the start because there were a lot of times in the scrims or we just like exclusively practice these players, these heroes on like these maps kind of thing, and like we were pretty rigid in that regard. Like there'd be some like kind of diversity and overlap which we try and accomplish, but it wasn't super efficient like use of time, I felt. But like we could have probably done it a bit better, honestly. Like with the 8, like we probably still could have made it work, I think. But I know we believe that we weren't really adapting fast enough, I guess, in time for LAN. So
was there like an advantage you had with the 8-man roster that you feel like you don't have anymore with this 6?
I mean, like back then, like when we were running the 8-man, I felt that there was a little bit different meta, right? Like people actually ran Soldier, right? Like the Soldier hero, when is he run? Right? So like we like in generally like hit scan time, we just run Tails because like he's like hit scan god, right? Just fucking excuse my French. Human aimbot, pretty much right there.
That's right, as much as you want, mate.
He's pretty good at clicking on people's heads. Like that worked out pretty good, and right now, like we're still have that special. Like, I don't know, Colorhex is jack of all trades. He's almost master of pretty much everything. Like he does a great Pharah, great Rat, great Genji, great
Widow.
Widow. Yeah, trying to think of all the heroes now because there's so many heroes. Like sometimes you'll pick out the Kree, like a Sombra.
Yeah.
Is he playing Sombra? Maybe, I don't know. Or is it me? Someone's playing Sombra, dude. Or are they? Spoilers, by the way. Don't tell anyone. But no, I think we're doing pretty well. We've been learning a lot in the past week or so of scrims. I think we've actually had a huge wake up. It's like LAN's coming. Like we got to fix these issues that we're having, and we had some really good scrims this week. So looking pretty good, I think.
Yeah, and talking about LAN, the last time you were on that stage, it was the Masterminds who knocked you out, right? This is when you were playing for Plot One, and we had high expectations for you at that LAN. You guys didn't go quite as well. Unfortunately, do you feel like a player who really steps up at LAN? Are you someone? I mean, there's no audience there this time, so it's not like you're gonna get jeered at or something. But are you someone who, when the chips are down, do you think you play better? Do you think you play to your peak?
I mean, I think most of the time there are like a lot of situations where I would just like randomly clutch and just get like a 1v3 or something, or like a 2v4 with Cantus live or Colorhex live, something ridiculous. Yeah. I feel like those happen more often than they probably should. I don't know, maybe that's me being good at that. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know, maybe I'm just like the stars align for me all the time. I like to think that because I'm just like, oh, that guy died when I just pressed the button, right? Like sometimes I just
it's just that easy.
I'm just like, oh, it just happened. No, I don't know. It's just like what happened. But I'm labeled as clutch by my coaches, so I'd like to think that's some regard, I guess. But I always like to think I can do better. I can always do better.
Will it show up on LAN though? That's the big choice. Okay, so with the big roster, with Dalsu going out, obviously he was very good, and a player. I mean, like most of the flex supports, I guess, really, and even Lucio at some points. How do you think your support rotation is going now without Dalsu? So Taki's pretty much stuck on that main support, right? And then we're just gonna have Cantus on the flex.
Yeah, that's pretty much how. Yeah, that's what we've been doing. Like since Dow's gone, like that's just been the setup. Like Candace is on the flex support and Taki's on the main support because we want to keep like it's good to keep the same people playing the same heroes for one, but also like the way you comm on different heroes as well is different. Like Cantus would be trying to call like the way he does when he's playing Mercy, how he would when he's playing Zenyatta, for example, and that was a bit weird. Like he'd start calling targets sometimes randomly, and like it was just stuck in his head because he'd be playing Zenyatta the whole time.
Right.
So that made it a bit rough. And Taki would struggle to shot call on some other like support heroes, or do his calling, like however he calls, for example. So we thought it was best to just keep the consistency, same people playing the same heroes, and like when you're playing a hero that you don't play as much, you're not comming as much as you would normally on like a more familiar hero. Like when I play Junkrat, I'm just like, shooting grenades, boys. Like people calling stuff, I'm just like, I'm just spamming a wall, man. Like I'm just Tracer. I'm like, yep, set up for Zen, go main, let's go, all this stuff, right?
Yeah, okay. It's all a little bit different every time.
But yeah, that was pretty much why we did that. Just consistency.
Yep.
Is name of the game.
And and now you've got that 6 players playing every single time. So they are the 6 that you'll be taking to LAN. Now what's the other question? When you guys are up there, we've got literally all other 3 people I've talked to so far have said that A, they're going to win the tournament, and B, that they're the favorites. So, can you complete the quartet for me? Are Masterminds the favorite, and are you going to win the Contenders LAN?
Ooh, honestly, I don't know if we are the favorite because there's been those couple of weeks of scrims where we may not have looked so good to these teams. Like they would have thought, we're maybe a bit easy or something.
Do you place a lot of stock in the scrims?
I mean, honestly, I never really do necessarily, but it can help. Like playing good in scrims is good for morale, right? Like people are always positive, right? Like you have to get people when you're winning scrims though to like look at their mistakes, like why why they were doing good, and like and think of what can go wrong in these situations, for example. Yeah, you can't get complacent at the same time. But obviously losing in scrims, like you're constantly thinking of why did we lose, right? Like because you want to win. You'll turn that L into a W, pretty simple, right? So I always put more emphasis on losing for sure. But it's tough.
It's tough. Oof. All right.
But who's gonna win? I'll say. I would like to say it's us. I do want to say it's us. I'm gonna say it's us because everyone is gonna switch on at LAN. We're all gonna switch on. We're gonna be positive. We're gonna be coming like crazy. We're gonna be fragging out. We're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna win some cash.
Well, it's good to hear. I mean, like at the start of the season, Masterminds were my pick to take it out. So I definitely think that you guys have the potential. As you say, you've just got to turn up on the day. So, thank you for having a chat to me, Yuki, and best of luck at LAN, mates. It's going to be a tough one for sure for all of the teams there, but I think the best team is going to come out ahead in the end. But regardless, it'll be a great day to watch, and I hope everybody tunes in. Thank you for joining me, mate.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.